So in this video, we're going to put together a pedal board for doom metal and stoner rock music. We're going to talk a little bit about the effects order and the power supply I use and things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, be sure you stick around and watch this video. I'm Jason Johnson with Fuzzlord Effects, and on this channel we do gear demos and tech talks made specifically for folks interested in doom metal and stoner rock music. So if that's your kind of thing, be sure you subscribe to this channel because we put out one video a week. If you want to keep up with me on a daily, head on over to the Instagram page at Fuzzlord Effects. And if you want to know more about what we have in stock right now, you can check out fuzzlordeffects.com. So in this video, we're going to check out a really simple pedal board setup that I threw together for this video, and we're going to play a bunch of riffs. There's also another video on the channel where Merrow and I played a bunch of riffs together, so if you like this one, head on over afterwards and check it out. So let's just talk a little bit about our pedal effects order, what effects we're using, and the power supply that I'm using today. As far as the pedal effects order, I'm going to follow the traditional effect order that most people use, which is dirt pedals up front, anything time-based down further downstream. Our first pedal is a boost pedal. It's a Fuzzlord Riffmaster OC44, which is a treble boost style pedal. I think a lot of people are going to like a boost pedal up front, no matter if it's a treble booster or a full range boost. But the reason I'm using a treble booster is because sometimes when we're using fuzz pedals or different distortions and we want to boost them more, it's really nice to be able to take a little bit of the bass out. That way we can get more of a high end and some mids driving our next pedals without just making everything sound really muddy. The second pedal in our chain is a hyper fuzz style pedal, like the Boss FC2. It's a Fuzzlord Effects FU2 circuit, which has been a really popular pedal, and it really hits that Monolord and Electric Wizard kind of tone. The next pedal is a Fuzzlord Effects Drone Master, which is a Rat variant. The Drone Master has some extra toggles on it for a mid boost and some different LED clipping modes, but in its heart, it's a Rat style pedal. So our first three pedals, which are our dirt pedals, are going to be a boost, a hyper fuzz style pedal, and then a Rat style pedal. If you really wanted to, a big muff would go very well with those other pedals, but I chose the Rat over the big muff for this video. After our dirt pedals is a tuner pedal. That way, anytime we can use our tuner pedal as a mute, so we can turn off all of our high gain stuff and we won't have our amp squealing and feeding back. So I use that a lot to like turn on the tuner to mute everything, and then I might turn off the Drone Master and turn on the FU2 during a spot of a song, and then turn the tuner back on. After the tuner, I'm using a micro pog, which gives you 1 octave down and 1 octave up, and then a clean blend control. I think it's just a really good simple octave pedal that you can use in a bunch of different situations. It goes good with the clean tone or with a fuzz or a boost or whatever you like to use with it. Other folks might stick a phaser right there. That's something I'm missing from my board today, but after the micro pog, we're running into a Catalan bred Talisman reverb. It's my buddy Troy's pedal, and he let me borrow it, and I think it's just a really nice wet sounding reverb. And then after that, my all-time favorite Boss pedal, which is the RE20 Space Echo. I've got it set up for very dark repeats, and it has a little bit of reverb also. So the last pedal on the pedal board today isn't actually a guitar pedal, it's a cab simulator pedal. This is a Cab Zeus Mono, and what we're doing with this is we're taking one signal out of the Cab Zeus Mono as a clean bypass mode and running straight into my amplifier. Today we're playing a Music Man 212 HD. So one of the signals coming out of the Cab Zeus is unaffected and going into the amp, and we're recording that with a SM57. The second signal is actually the Cab Sim sound. So I've got it set up as a 10-inch open back Greenback Celestian cab simulator sound. And then we're running that into our DAW. So we got two sounds today. We've got the direct pedal board through the cab sim, which makes a very, very good DI box. And then we also have the Cab Zeus Mono bypassed, and we're running our pedal board into the Music Man 212 HD and running a Shure SM57. So that's the basic pedal order we're running today. Playing my usual Greco white SG. So before we start playing, let's just talk about power supplies a little bit. I think for many people, a daisy chain setup works great. For folks interested in getting a dedicated power supply for their pedal board, I really enjoy the MXR ISO brick. It has a bunch of different outputs on it. That's what I'm using on this board. Just to clarify a little bit what makes an isolated power supply special is each output from this isolated power supply has its own little tiny transformer in it, so that each power supply for each different pedal is truly isolated from the one next to it. The reason that's important is because a lot of high gain dirt pedals can actually inject noise through the power supply to other pedals. So if you're worried about noise from your power supply on your pedals, an isolated power supply like the MXR ISO brick may be a good option for you. So thank you for watching, everyone. I really appreciate your time and your support on this channel. If you haven't yet and you're digging this channel, be sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. I really appreciate everyone that does. And of course, like always, leave a comment below and I will get back to each and every one of you as fast as I can. So the question of the week, I'm always curious to know where you're watching from. And then here is like the special question of the week, which is, what was the first album that you got when you were a young teenager or middle school or whatever it was? I want to know what album that was. Leave me a comment below. For me, it was in 3rd grade. I got a copy of Dookie by Green Day, and that was like my favorite album for like forever. After that, I've probably listened to it on repeat all day long. Eric, yes. What was the first album that you got as a...
Dude, I wish it was Dookie. I love Dookie, but the one that I first got was something by Static X, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a Static X record.
I can remember those videos coming out on, for me it was, we saw them on The Box. That was the low budget MTV. So I'm curious to know, what your first album that you got a hold of as like a young person was. You can leave me a comment below. I really appreciate all of you watching, so be sure you stop by the Instagram page at Fuzzlord Effects, stop by fuzzlordeffects.com, and if you want to know more about the person behind the camera, check out Eric Merrow's YouTube channel. He does gear demos and instructional videos, and I actually figured out how to use my Cab Zeus Mono from his demo. So until next week, thank you so much for watching. Be sure you subscribe to the channel and leave me those comments below. I'd like to know where you're watching from, what your first album you got as an adolescent was, and how about one more question, maybe favorite pedal that you heard on this board, slash if you could add one pedal to this board, what would it be? Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.